So you think that's where it's going to go. And then Stroud recognizes it. They end up staying inside. Young does with a good wall leg. So that gives an angle for Stroud to get to the boundary.
All right, sorry about that. I missed the little indication that we are live, but we are live. Give me just a second. But nevertheless, hey, Chris Jenkins, credentialed member of the media, covering the Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vibe, a.k.a. Man of the People, here live in Jacksonville at Everbank Stadium. About to go over this post-game recap, and you guys got to wish me some luck about the rain here. We had that 1 hour rain delay earlier today. Going to try to beat it all tonight, but certainly going to get you guys up to date and certainly get some fan reaction. So final score in the Carolina Panthers season opener, year 2 for Dave Canales and Bryce Young. Jacksonville Jaguars 26, your Carolina Panthers 10. And yes, 7 of those points came almost at garbage time, if you will. But we're going to go through it, talk you through some stats, coaches, locker room, as well as show you some wonderful photographs from this game today. So quick thoughts from me on this game. It's going to be hard to sell you guys on we're a better team because we're still getting the same results. And this team has not been good since 2010. But, you know, today, turnovers were the thing that did this. Because Jacksonville didn't really play head and shoulders above us. It was actually, from a statistical standpoint, about the same kind of game from both sides of the team. I mean, from both teams in terms of yardage, first downs, time of possessions. But again, you let them get a 70-ish yard run, get them set up for the touchdown. There you go. You get some turnovers that gave them a short field, and there you go. But also, I want to ask everybody right now that's tuning in, make sure you like the video, subscribe, and consider becoming a member. Super Chats are always welcome. We are independent media, 100% supported by you, so anytime that you're able to do that, that really helps us out a lot. So let's go ahead and go through this show, right? Before we get rained on out here in Jacksonville, let's go and take a look at some of the pictures that we have. And I see my members coming in here, so I just want to give a little quick shout-out to my members. And, again, I'm trying to run through the show. There you go. I'm trying to run through the show just because I'm afraid that I'm going to get wet out here today, all right? Give me just a second. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look through the lens of our excellent photographer, Patrick Snyder, and that's going to give us a look at the action from today's game. And as I always say, good or bad, we just bring the story to you, whatever that is, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at it. As they load up here pretty quick, man, what a picture to start with, right? This is Bryce Young as he was scrambling for some yardage, kind of went down awkwardly, and then fumbled the ball. Hold on one second, guys. Had to take my customary drink of water right there. But yet, one thing about Bryce Young and his scrambling, it was talked about in the past, this guy needs to get a little bit better at his sliding techniques because he's not too good at it. And here we are. Is that Jatavius? I can't tell it. That might be Chuba. But anyway, nice action shot from the game here. Again. This here is a pregame show, as the tradition always is for Bryce Young to go and say a prayer, and you see quite a few other guys that are out there with him as well doing that. And then this play right here. Again, let's just go ahead and give a little round of applause. If you don't at least like our channel because of the great photographs, the great on-the-field, pregame, postgame, instant feedback, come on, there's nobody out there doing it like this, and I would love to have your support in helping us grow to do more of this. But nevertheless, excellent shot of an interception thrown by Bryce and a target that was intended for Xavier Legette. I feel like this was not the best decision, as there was a lot of guys all over Legette when this pass was attempted. All right, this looks like to be another great, awesome shot of Bryce Young and the fumble that he had, which unfortunately continued to give the Jacksonville Jaguars some momentum and good things going in this game today. Oh, we went backwards there. I remember this play clearly. And, hey, guys, I love the comments. Keep those comments coming. I will do my best to get to them as we work through the show today. But, you know, I remember this play clearly because I'm like, man, Xavier needs a little bit of help. He's, like, doing everything that he can to continue to get the ball down the field. But they're just coming after this guy one after the other. But great shots. And here is Bryce Young with a I don't know what happened on this play here, but it doesn't look like he had the best chance of getting this ball off. But Bryce Young under pressure, which is something that happened today. It happened more than one time, and you kind of felt that might be the case because his team has had a little issues with him pass blocking before. And then today with Ikemi Kwanu being out, they had some more issues with that as well. Oh, I went backwards again. Sorry about that. Let's see. Let's go forward, Chris. Let's go forward. My man Hunter Renfrow. What a catch. What a photograph again by Hunter Renfrow. We're going to go over the stats here in just a second, but I'm glad that Hunter Renfrow was able to be out here. This guy, again, I know that Dave Canales said that it was the conditioning that they didn't like about Hunter, but I know I saw him during training camp, and this guy was not missing balls. He was doing everything he can under the sun to make catches and continued to do that today. So glad that we got him on the 53-man roster. It didn't happen in the way that we wanted to get it, but we got it. And then here you see Bryce Young walking off the field, starting the season 0-1, unfortunately, here in Jacksonville. And you see there in the background, Jacksonville Jaguars win. So the Carolina Panthers are 0-1 to start off the season. Take a few more photographs. All right. And then I'm back here. So that's a quick look at the photographs from today's session. If you enjoy our photographs, I invite you to go over to Instagram. That's going to be where we put all the pictures from today. And we're getting blasted by the field crew here that doesn't seem to care at all, which they typically don't care, but they try to sometimes at least work the other side of the field before they come to us. But nevertheless, hey, if you get a chance, again, nobody in the media goes live after the show like we do. I like to say these guys have a friend in the media, which is myself. So if you're able to support us in any way, Cash App, there's a link in the description. I often say just $1 will help us continue to operate and do what we do. It's currently one game this year that I'm not traveling. I'm sorry, two games, Green Bay and San Francisco, that I'm not currently traveling to. Would love to travel to. If you're able to contribute and you like the show, trust me, we'll continue to grow. And you may have a surprise come on tonight. I don't know. But, again, I told you guys I'm not going to tell everything until I get those I's dotted and T's crossed about some of the new and exciting things that we're doing. We also have memberships, which are there and welcome for you guys to join us. Look at this. I'm gonna pick one comment here. Come on, Chris. That wasn't just short. That was a butt kicking. Did I say it was short? I mean, yeah. It was some bad things in there. There was some bad things in there. But we'll get to it. We'll get to it. All right. Let's go ahead and go through the stats from today just to see what this butt kicking that they said looked like from a statistical standpoint. So here we go. Let's start with the passing. All right, there we go. We threw the ball 35 times today. And let me see if I can quickly find how many times we rushed. We rushed 25. So I'm not excited that we rushed only 25 and we threw 35 times, but there's a reason for it, right? We got behind in this game and we needed to catch up. So, Dave Canales started going for fourth downs and we didn't make it. Again, I'm going to go into that a little bit more here shortly, but you got to look at these, how the game played out, and that's why we had to, unfortunately, get away from our run game, which I felt like I saw Canales being very intentional about that run game early on, because often on the first down, what you saw was two tight ends, Chuba in the background, and then they go and they run the ball, and you saw that happen a lot initially until, again, Jacksonville started putting some points on the boards, and Carolina had to figure out a way to respond to it. But let's look at the stats again from Bryce Young. 18 of 35, 154 yards, 4.4 yard average, 1 TD, 2 interceptions. Now, one of those came late in the game on a tip ball, but 2 interceptions. Got sacked one time, had a passer rating of 49. So, just in quick summary about Bryce Young, it was both. It was both Bryce Young today, and it was also both his receivers today that made his stats appear what they were. There was a sequence I remember early on that first half where you had Bryce, Xavier Legette. I'm sorry. Gosh darn, I got to look back at my notes. But I know it was 3 guys that pretty much did not hold on to the ball. Chuba had a ball go through his hands. T-Mac tried to one-hand grab a ball that he shouldn't have. And there was one other where I could tell that it did not go well for the receivers on the ball that Bryce put up pretty well. And then other times it was, was it the receiver? Was it Bryce not putting the ball exactly where it should have been? You don't know. But nevertheless, those were Bryce's stats from today. Let's go ahead and take a look at the receivers. Tetairoa McMillan had a pretty decent game. I've said this, and I still will continue to say it. I feel like Tetairoa McMillan will be a pretty good receiver for the Carolina Panthers, but get prepared for some growing pains. He had them all throughout training camp, and to me, this is something that he's going to fix just with repetition. So repetitions of a 18-week season, 17 games, that'll get you some improvement. Then you head into the offseason. But nevertheless, let's go to for today. Tetairoa was 5 receptions, 68 yards, had on 9 targets. So he was definitely targeted the most. Chuba Hubbard and Jatavian Sanders. So this is, to me, where it gets a little disappointing, right? Your wide receiver, your first-round wide receiver, is your number 1 targeted guy. Not mad at that. Good for Bryce and company. But your next 2 wide receivers that get the most targets are a running back and a tight end. I don't like that. We'll do some film breakdown to figure out why that was the case. Was it this is what the defense was giving Bryce, or did it come to be where this is what the play calling looked like and made this come out to be like this? So let's go ahead and take a look at these receiving one more time. Then we're going to go continue on. So Jatavian Sanders, 2 catches, 27 yards. He had a drop that he should have caught. And then Hunter Renfrow. Now this is eye-popping to me. Hunter was 2 out of 6. All right. And then you guys can read through the rest. And we'll continue to work through it as all this rain and grass comes around me. 1 second here. All right, so we're going to take a look at the defense. And I know you guys had some issues with one of our guys out there on defense, but let's just take a look at what we have here. Trevon Moreg led us in tackles with 11. Christian Roseboom, who had a game-saving tackle. No, I shouldn't say game-saving. Had a touchdown-saving tackle with 8. Trevin Wallace, 5. And we only had – did we get a sack today? Oh, boy. Where's this at? Let me see if I can play. No, that's not a sound effect that I wanted to, but we'll play it again. No sacks today for this Carolina Panthers team. All right, I'm going to bring myself back on the screen here for a second. No sacks today for this Carolina Panthers team. That's tough. The run game didn't do what we needed to do. I believe they had over 200 yards rushing. Let me look at my stats here really quick. Yeah, well, Jacksonville had right at 200 yards rushing today. That's not good enough for us to win many ball games, nevertheless. And let's go ahead and I think that'll cover us all through everything. Yep, receiving. All right, so we're going to continue to rock through this. And got a few updates for you from the game itself. All right, guys, give me a second. I'm going to see if I can do what I think I'm wanting to do here. We'll continue to work through it. I appreciate you guys tuning in. And we got a new setup here. So if you see me looking around, it's because of this new setup that I have and trying to get some things done well. One second, guys. Just trying to line this video up that I want to share with you guys. All right, so we're going to play some video here for you. Give me just a second to see if I can get this right. This is Dave Canales, a little excerpt from his press conference.
Yeah, we just we really just got to figure out just calming down the cadence part, and getting everybody started out in the protection. Got to give a credit to the Jags. Thought they did a good job of presenting some issues with pressures. We had some success against what they did. They got us a few times. They chose a very aggressive approach, but we had a plan for it, and I think it's just making sure that we get the whole rhythm and organization from the center and everybody else, on the same page so that we're ready to go.
All right, I got another clip here that I want to share with you guys, so give me a second to get to that clip. All right, we got two more clips going to play from Coach.
On them to do that, and we'll keep giving them ops. That's just what we're going to do. These are the guys we have. We love them, and I'm fired up for this group. But at the same time, they'll be the first ones to come up here and tell you I got to make that play. And that's what I really want us to just grasp. The consistency it takes to be really good is you make all the ones you're supposed to make and some of the special ones every once in a while.
So he's going to talk about injuries right here.
Back to work. Let's go back to work. I just really, to Bryce, to the whole group, really, like, we have to look in the mirror. This is where we are at today. The film is the truth. This is where we're at. Do we have the character to keep pushing forward, to keep getting better at our fundamentals?
All right, so those were some quick. One second, guys. All right, so those were some highlights and clips from our head coach, Dave Canales. Now we're going to go ahead and share a few highlights as well from Bryce Young as he spoke with the media today after the game today. All right, so here's a few clips from Bryce Young. And then we're going to go back. We're going to continue to break down this game for you and also take a few questions from you guys before we get out of here and head on back to Charlotte. So Bryce Young struggled today, had some turnovers, needs to make some better decisions. So we're going to play a little bit of Bryce Young and his post-game press conference, and then we're going to talk to you guys about that as well. All right, one second. I cannot find the button to hit here. All right, here we go. Bryce Young.
Obviously, can't turn the ball over like that across the team. I have to be better in that, but it was just very decision. I mean, we always feel confident going in. We're always expecting to win. Obviously, didn't get that done. We'll watch the tape tomorrow. We'll learn and grow, but that confidence doesn't waver.
So I can tell you guys right now, I'm not liking the Bryce Young tone. It's giving me flashbacks of last year. Hopefully that's not going to be the case. I'm going to play another clip from Bryce. Again, just taking some excerpts and cuts from his press conference today.
We one, again, he did a good job with that, and that's part of the game. That's no excuse for anything I did, anything like that. So I have all the confidence in the world in him. He played a great game. Like I just have to be better. This isn't, we're competitors. Obviously, no one likes to lose, but it's week one. We're gonna watch it tomorrow. We're gonna wear it. We're gonna see what we can go from, and then after that, we're gonna flush it. We have a long season ahead. We're gonna push our best to be, the best we can be every single day. That doesn't change. That's always been the goal. That'll always be the goal. So, not gonna be fun today, but we're gonna be back.
All right, give me just a second, guys. We're going to come back to – all right, hold on. Let's see. All right, I don't know what we're doing here. There we go. We're going to get back to the camera there just a second. Sorry about that. Hey, with new technologies and new things, there's a few hiccups, but as you see there, we made it through it. So a few other things that I want to talk about from you guys that I'm getting some information from in terms of the locker room, what has happened after the game, is Bryce on the bad snap said none of it was on Austin Corbett. As a quarterback does say, he says has all the confidence in him. The whole team just needs to get better. And then Bryce Young was also today captured with a helmet slam, right? So that's something that you, like, wow, just not used to seeing from Bryce. And again, that's just me for the first time hearing his tone on the post-game press conference. And for me, that's like, oh, boy, that's the Bryce Young that I heard last year when he got benched. And I don't like hearing that Bryce Young too much. So hopefully this is just it's a thing that they'll be able to clean up and have a good game next week out in Arizona. On his helmet slam, Bryce said that wasn't directed at anyone. He was just frustrated with himself, and he's a competitor. And I think I got one more update for you guys. Xavier Legette was in the locker room, asked about his catch that was not a catch. So, earlier I said there was some things that was going on in this game where with these incompletions that you can't put it all on Bryce Young. It was some Bryce, it was some of his receivers, and man, for me it was so frustrating to see Xavier Legette as he's running, towards the out of bounds to make a catch, that he definitely makes the catch, but he did not make a significant move to make sure that he toe tapped and was in bounds on that play, and they said he was out. So, where I was in the press box, I had a good shot up, but couldn't see his feet, wasn't able to see the replays. But it's just like, man, are you kidding me? Like, if you had the ability to clearly bring that ball in and you did not make any big, valiant attempts to do a toe tap, I'm mad at you. And on that, Xavier did have a comment, which I am trying to get back to. And on that, he said he needs better field awareness on that sideline throw. Yes, Xavier. Yes, you do need some better field awareness on that sideline throw because it was right there. It was an opportunity to keep the momentum going, keep this ball going. So, yeah, those are some updates for you. Let me see if I got any more quick updates that I want to throw you guys' way. I think that may be it. Canales did speak about the wide receivers finishing plays. Says he's excited for the wideouts winning and getting open. They need more consistency and maturity to continue to grow. Opportunities will continue to come for these wide receivers. Turk Wharton, he was evaluated for a concussion. These are giving you guys some injury updates. Turk Wharton was evaluated for a concussion. He was then cleared. Then he was then ruled out of the game. And so for that injury that he suffered, he's going to have to get an MRI to continue to be further evaluated from that. We also had Pat Jones that left the game with an ankle. No other updates on Pat Jones and that ankle injury right now. Hey, super chats are always welcome if you appreciate the show, if you appreciate this live broadcast in 4K. consider supporting us with a super chat or a Cash App donation of $1. It always helps us continue to operate as we do and continue to grow. And for Canales, head coach Dave Canales, he says main points, needs to watch the film, coach talk, right? But he thinks the team had a great camp and they can be much better than today's performance. So those are some additional tidbits from today's game. And we're going to continue to rock and roll through it before the sun's coming out. That in Florida, that means rain is right around the corner. But let me continue to work through this. And got a few more updates. Other points that I want to touch on with you guys really quick. What was interesting for me today is you guys know in Carolina that we say, man, we hate when other teams come and take over our stadium. And Jacksonville, they didn't have that problem today with Panther fans taking over the stadium. They actually just had a problem with getting fans in the stands, period. It's humid and hot out here, and I got to stay hydrated. It was quite a few empty seats out here today in Jacksonville as the Panthers took on the Jacksonville Jaguars. A few more things I want to talk about, then we'll get out of here. Look for that post-game show tomorrow. One of the things I want to talk about is, man, that play where Trevor's brother, I'm sure they're going to be talking if they haven't already talked about who had the better game today, started about 10 yards up the field from where I'm at and ran for 70 yards. And it was like, oh, my goodness, here we go with this run defense. One thing I want to take a look at, and I don't have the immediate evaluation of, is how many snaps Derek Brown played. I forgot to keep watch of that exactly today. But the run game, you want to see it improve. And, you know, if you take away that big run, but of course the game is what the game is, right? You take away key moments in any game and the whole game changes. You take away that 71 yards and they're more at 130. Still probably on the higher end of where you want it to be, but certainly not at 200. But some things that happened on that play. Number one, there was a good block of the tight end coming across and sealing the edge to give ETN that opening. And then I'll be honest with you, outside of that block, there was still some shifty running by that young man that made it what it was. You know, I forgot who missed first. I think it might have been Moreg. Came up, and as he shifted right at the line, he kind of ran into the young player that had gotten, you know, wham blocked by the tight end coming back across to seal the edge. And then they take off down the field. And then, unfortunately, our safety got juked. Not in complete open field, but he got juked out in the open. And then, you know, a little hat tip to Roseboom, who made the run all the way down and was able to make that tackle and make it just a 71-yard trip. But here's what happened in that first half. The Carolina Panthers, we scored on our first possession. Then we had 2 turnovers and then a punt in the first half. So we really quickly put ourselves in a hole where I know Dave Canales is like, gosh darn it, I can't do what I want to do. But those mistakes, right? When you're trying to compete at this league and you know your talent is not at the top level of other teams, and even if you take that out, right? Turnovers and mistakes are going to kill you really no matter what your talent level is. And to say that we had, again, we scored, turnover, punt. That was our possessions in the first half. You go to the other side of the field with the Jacksonville Jaguars, they scored 4 out of their first 5 possessions in that first half. And that really set the tone for, you know, what we saw as the final score of Carolina Panthers, 10, your Jacksonville Jaguars, 26. And we're starting off the season 0-1 and kind of feeling like, oh, man, here we go again. But, you know, hopefully that won't be the case. But let's see. Then one more thing that I'm going to talk about, then I'll see what questions you guys may have, and then I'm going to jump on out of here. Some situational football that we need to get better at. Man, all this grass is flying around here. Situational football that we need to get better at. What is it? Well, short yardage. You know, it's like Coach Canales talked about becoming physical, and that's a good thing. I think this team is becoming more physical. I won't say that you saw it all today, but I feel like this team is becoming more physical. But you got to take that step where when the team on the other side knows what you're going to do, everybody knows what you're going to do, but you can impose your will. You have something where your strength, where your play calling will outsmart. Either you got to out-muscle the other team, which you got to do most of the time anyway, right? Let's be honest, it's football. Or you got to outsmart them. 2 series that we had in the second half where we're coming through the opportunity of at the goal line. It was only 1 yard to go. And we got a second down, a third down, and a fourth down attempts to do this, and we don't make it. All right? And it's like, all right, darn it. And then shortly after, on the next series, we're not in the red zone, but we're trying to continue to get some momentum. We got 2 yards to go, and we absolutely get nowhere. I mean, none of those plays look like they even had a chance to get anywhere close. Those are the things that situational football that the Carolina Panthers have to get better at in order to go from we could be better, we're young, to being better. So we're just going to have to wait and see. Today was our first sample size. We're going to hopefully get some – well, we'll absolutely get some more sample size. And, you know, look for our day after show tomorrow where I'll go more in depth on this game and start to give you guys some really good thoughts on, you know, is this the same thing that we've been looking at? Is it some differences? Are there some slight improvements? We'll see. All right, let me try to go through some comments. We got a lot of them. So I'm going to go in reverse order, see what we can't get through here. If you're still watching, give yourself a thumbs up. Hit that like button. Help us continue to grow. The goal is 15,000 subscribers. We're just over 13,000. So with your support, I think we can make it. So let's go ahead and spend a little bit of time on some of the comments here. All right, here we go. Let's first try to take a look at all of our members. Got to give our members some love. They are what helps us be out here and travel to these games. Tyrone C., tired of the training camp lies. Hey, if you got some training camp lies, Tyrone, how much did you tune in to my coverage? Because I try to keep things in a lot of perspective. Give me just a second here. I try to keep things in a really, really good perspective on what to expect. And I always say, as time goes on, I like training camp less and less because it's gotten so much so where they're trying to evaluate things that are really so finite, and their focus isn't so much on the game's outcome that from the outside looking in, when you don't know the exact plan they set out for evaluating those games, it's hard to really know what you're going to see. And so that's how I felt. You know, they're playing their starters a quarter at best, I think, in Houston, and sometimes they're not playing against their starters on the other side. Sometimes they're playing against their second team. So it's hard, but appreciate you being a member, Tyrone. Appreciate the comment. Let's continue to work through a few of these comments here. Again, I'm going to first make sure I touch on my members, as you guys are what makes this site go round and round. T. Green says, Canales says anything to keep himself out of the spotlight. So I have not had a chance to watch his full press conference, but when they had that interruption due to the weather, which is, by the way, I've been covering this team for more than 15 years, guys in the press box was trying to figure out when the last time it happened. I was like, I don't know, but I can say it hadn't happened in 15 years. I've never been a part of a weather delay. And just to let you guys know why a weather delay happens, it's not because of weather, inclement weather, so to say, because football is played in any weather, rain, snow, sleet, shine. They are going to play football even if it's like 50 degrees below zero. But when they will not play is when there's lightning within a certain proximity of the stadium. So that happened today. They had to shut down the game for about an hour and resume it. And I felt like, excuse me, that Canales would come on and say, hey, great opportunity, right? A good opportunity to learn something new. I like Dave, but I just felt like with his personality, that is what we were going to get. Again, I don't know if he commented on that. Oh, some of you guys did not like the play of Austin Corbett, huh? Hoping they put Mays back at center. Praying for a speedy recovery from Coker. All right, I just again want to try to make sure I get through all of my members really quick. T. Green, you saying that Bryce threw that helmet, he's mad that Thielen's gone? Wonder, has Minnesota played yet today? Let me check this out. See if Minnesota has played yet today. And if they did, how our man Adam Thielen was no longer our guy because he's with another team, right? Now, Minnesota plays Monday night. Oh, you guys are killing Bryce. All right. So, again, just trying to go through all of my members. Amp for Life. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for all that you do, Chris. Thank you, Amp for Life, for being a member. And, man, y'all really going to make me end my show without a super chat, without just one super chat? Y'all that bad that you don't even want to give me one super chat today? I made it on the field in only 30 minutes without my full staff, but, you know, y'all can be stingy with it, but I'm going to continue to earn your support, even if the Panthers aren't doing a good job. Okay, a lot of Bryce Young. Let me see what this will come in. Same with Austin. I don't know why we ever even re-signed him. He is older and was out injured 1 year. Why keep that? Why don't we let some crew as last year keep going? All right, so not liking Austin Corbett. Whoa, Renfro trash. I see why Raiders released him. What is that comment about? T Green? If you're still there, T Green, let me know why you feel like Renfro's trash. And then that'll take me through all of my members, and then I'm going to go ahead and try to answer about 3 questions from everybody else before I get out of here and continue to do my post-game show recap. I'm brokey. All right, just trying to. There we go. Appreciate it. Y'all not gonna let me leave without getting at least one super chat tonight for my service. I'm not trying, but continue to give you coverage. So let's go ahead and play this sound effect right here.
Super chat.
As we did get a super chat from Christian Betrace. Hopefully I said that right. Says Bryce was not that bad. So I'm just going to be honest. I don't think that any Panther fans are going to be happy after today, because here's one thing I know fully, being in the media. Yeah, I may have the ability to look at things very objectively and as a whole and see something that's improving. But I know as a fan, like if I'm just a fan, whether I'm paying money to go to a game, whether I'm taking up my 4 hours on a Sunday to watch and cheer for this team, man, it's been since 2015. It has been 10 years of, like, hope. Nah. So was Bryce Young trash today? I did not see him as being trash today. but I didn't see him doing all the things that he needed to. And I also saw some of his wide receivers not giving him the opportunity that he needed to give them. But he did. Hey, how many times did Bryce run for a first down? Let's see if I got the rushing stats still on here. Did I say the rushing stats? I think I might have skipped the rushing stats. Shame on me. I think I did skip the rushing stats. So shame on me, and my apologies for skipping over that. Let's look at the rushing stats. Chuba Hubbard, man, some tough sledding for Chuba Hubbard today. 15 carries, a 3.6 yard average. But here's what I want to talk about and what I thought I was going to see when I took a look at this. Look at Bryce Young's stats. In my opinion, Bryce Young took off today at times that he needed to, and he got a first down. 5 rushes for 40 yards with an 8-yard average, a 22-yard long. That's some good footwork by Bryce. Now, what does he need to do with his running? Well, he needs to learn how to slide. Please, Bryce, learn how to slide. If you're running out of bounds, you can kind of stay upright, but when you're running between the numbers, it looked like he's not knowing what he wants to do, like he just wants to slow down and then sit. And in the NFL, they're not going to just let you slow down and sit. They're going to hit you. So Bryce needs to work on that. Let's see how the rest of these guys did. All right, let me get the right screen back up. Rico Dowdle, as you would expect, Chuba's going to be your main guy, and Chuba did not have a great day. Didn't have much room to run, so you certainly would expect that Rico Dowdle would not get a ton of carries, and he did not. He only got 3 for 12 yards. And then Trevor Etienne got 1 carry, 1 for 4. As a whole, the offense was able to get 113 yards rushing on the day. Let's see how much time. We got time. We're going to go to 6:30 Eastern time. So we got about 3 more minutes here. I'll get through as much as I can. And again, please like if you're watching the video. Subscribe if you have not. Leave a comment. Help us continue to grow. Ruben Lee says, we are wasting downs trying to run up the middle. Defense should switch to 4-3. Okay. Four turnovers is that bad? We did not have 4 turnovers today. We had 2. Let me double check. We might have had 3 with that play at the end of the game, but I did not see that many turnovers from us today in terms of 4. Give me a quick second. Yeah, we had 3 turnovers. We had 3 turnovers, and the Jacksonville Jaguars had 1 turnover. Not minimizing it, but just wanted to get it accurate. And I believe one of those turnovers was really like right at the tail end of the game. Not that would have made a big difference in this outcome that was not good enough, but we had 3 turnovers. And, my man Tyrone with another super chat. We're going to end it on a strong note. We're going to end it with a super chat. Great job, Chris. It's not you. It's the coaches. Appreciate you, Tyrone, man. Definitely need the support. Appreciate it very much. We'll get one more. You guys are talking about a replay. Not sure which one you guys are talking about there. All right, you guys are talking about some of the mishaps that happened. Dan. All right, so, hey, as always, appreciate you guys for tuning in. I tried to get on air tonight a lot quicker than the past. Please leave me some feedback. Call myself man of the people because I enjoy doing what I do for you guys and making my content to what you all like it and want it to be. So if there's some questions that you want to have asked to players or coaches, let me know. And we're going to continue to do what we do. Tomorrow we'll be back on live, going more in depth about the show. We'll be in Arizona this weekend coming up as they take on the Cardinals. And look at here. You guys are taking care of me tonight. We got another super chat. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. We might be able to add a trip that we are currently not scheduled to make due to you guys' support. So
Super chat.
here we go. A super chat from R.L. Britt. We appreciate you, Chris, and I appreciate you guys. So thank you very much. And as well, some people may find that Cash App is an easier thing to do. So Cash App link is in the description. $1 or more if you got it and are able to contribute. I love it. But that's going to be it. I got one more plug that I'm going to do before I get out of here. Had a chance to talk with Mitchell Evans, tight end for the Carolina Panthers. Part of my rookie interviews that I'm doing, I'm going to go through all the rookies. And here's a little clip. If you haven't watched it, make sure you watch the whole thing.
I would say just doing like the dirty work. I'm not the fastest, most flashy guy, so I feel like I really take kind of pride in trying to get better in the trenches. You know, it's something I feel like that kind of got me to this point. Is something I'm able to, like, I have the willingness to do that.
So there was a quick snippet from my one-on-one interview with Mitchell Evans. Check it out. We got a playlist in our YouTube that shows you all of our one-on-one interviews. No other media has as many one-on-one interviews, independent media, as I have. Dozens and dozens of them. Been doing it for quite a long time. So be sure to check that out. Chris Jenkins reporting live from Everbank Stadium, where unfortunately the Carolina Panthers are starting off the season 0-1 after falling to the Jacksonville Jaguars 26-10. Thank you so much.